The imposing mansion stood proudly in the most luxurious neighborhood of the city, a symbol of Nathaniel's undeniable success. From the height of its expansive windows, he gazed over his property with a certain pride, remembering the countless sleepless nights and sacrifices that had led him to this moment. Wealthy, influential, and respected, he was the portrait of an accomplished man. Beside him stood Evelyn, his wife, always so elegant and poised. She appeared to share in his satisfaction, though a certain mystery lingered in her eyes, a mystery Nathaniel failed to notice. "Is this what they call paradise on earth, Nathaniel?" Evelyn asked in a voice so soft it was almost a whisper. He smiled, pulling her into an embrace. "Yes, Evelyn, this is everything I ever dreamed of, and it's only the beginning for us." Nathaniel had built his empire with relentless determination. Exhaustive dedication to work was simply part of his life, and Evelyn admired her husband's drive, though she sometimes felt overshadowed by it. "Let's go out for dinner tonight," Nathaniel suggested, his voice full of excitement. "I've reserved a table at your favorite restaurant. You deserve the best." Evelyn smiled and accepted the invitation with a nod, hiding the flicker of disdain that crossed her face. Nathaniel, engrossed in his busy schedule and glued to his cell phone, failed to notice the subtle change in her expression. Nathaniel's world revolved around contracts, appointments, and decisions. To him, Evelyn was the perfect partner, graceful and supportive. "All of this is for us, for our future," he said, watching her adjust a pearl necklace in the mirror. "I want you to always feel secure, surrounded by the best of everything." "I know, Nathaniel. I'm very lucky to be by your side," she replied with a faint smile, masking her true emotions. For Nathaniel, it was just another one of Evelyn's frequent nights out, where she claimed she was going to the movies, focused on his business. He never suspected otherwise. "Enjoy the movie, dear," he would say, pleased to see his wife taking time for herself. But the truth was far more sinister. Instead of heading to the movies, Evelyn drove to a nearby supermarket parking lot, where she met Lucas, Nathaniel's younger brother. Lucas's demeanor was sharp, and his eyes burned with a dangerous ambition. Together, they shared a chilling goal: to eliminate Nathaniel and seize his fortune. "Is everything ready?" Lucas asked bluntly, leaning against a post. "Yes," Evelyn confirmed, glancing around to ensure they were alone. She detailed the plan, explaining how Nathaniel would be taking the car early the next morning for an important meeting. "It's perfect. No one will suspect a thing." Lucas nodded, his smile brimming with confidence. "This will be our golden moment. Once it's done, the fortune will be ours." Their plan was meticulously crafted. Lucas, trusted by Nathaniel and with access to the mansion's garage, would tamper with the car's brakes, ensuring it appeared to be a tragic accident. What neither of them knew was that someone else had overheard their conspiracy. Hiding in the shadows of the parking lot was a street boy named Oliver. Clever and resourceful, Oliver had sought shelter from the cold and unwittingly stumbled upon the couple's conversation. He listened intently, piecing together their plot to harm Nathaniel. Despite his fear, Oliver felt a strong sense of responsibility to act. When Evelyn and Lucas parted ways, Oliver remained hidden, determined to warn Nathaniel. As Evelyn drove off, Oliver made a bold decision. He would follow her to discover where Nathaniel lived. Oliver trailed Evelyn through the streets, careful to keep his distance. The surroundings grew more luxurious until she turned down a tree-lined lane and entered a grand estate. Concealed by the night, Oliver took in the mansion's imposing structure, its tall gates, and the illuminated entry path. "I have to tell him," Oliver murmured, his resolve hardening. "He needs to know what they're planning." The next morning, Oliver positioned himself near the mansion's gates. When Nathaniel's car approached, Oliver ran into the road, frantically waving his arms. Nathaniel, startled, rolled down his window. "What are you doing here?" he asked, irritation evident in his tone. "Please, sir, I need to talk to you. It's about your safety," Oliver said, his voice trembling with urgency. Suspicious but intrigued, Nathaniel listened as Oliver relayed the chilling details of what he had overheard. At first, Nathaniel was incredulous, dismissing the story as absurd, but Oliver's desperate sincerity made him pause. "Check your brakes before you leave," Oliver pleaded. "Please, sir, I'm telling the truth." Reluctantly, Nathaniel asked his mechanic to inspect the car. The result was undeniable. The brakes had been tampered with. The realization hit Nathaniel like a wave, dissolving his trust in Evelyn and Lucas. Betrayal burned deep within him as he turned to Oliver. "Why did you do this? Why risk so much for someone you don't even know?" Nathaniel asked, his voice filled with a mixture of gratitude and disbelief. "Because it was the right thing to do," Oliver replied simply. From that moment, Nathaniel resolved to expose Evelyn and Lucas. With Oliver's help, they devised a plan to outwit the conspirators. Nathaniel staged his own death in a fiery car accident, leaving Evelyn and Lucas to believe their scheme had succeeded. As news of the accident spread, Evelyn and Lucas reveled in their apparent victory. But their joy was short-lived. When they arrived at the lawyer's office to claim Nathaniel's inheritance, they were confronted by an unexpected clause in his will. In the event of an accident or suspicious circumstances, the lawyer read aloud, "The wife and her heirs are excluded from the inheritance." Evelyn and Lucas were stunned. Their shock turned to panic when Nathaniel, very much alive, walked into the room alongside Oliver. "Surprised to see me?" Nathaniel asked, his voice calm but heavy with indignation. Caught red-handed, Evelyn and Lucas tried to defend their actions, but their lies unraveled under Nathaniel's piercing gaze. Police officers, waiting just outside, entered the room and arrested the pair. Evelyn screamed accusations of love and betrayal, but Nathaniel remained unmoved. "You didn't do this for us," he said coldly. "You did it for greed." With Evelyn and Lucas taken away, Nathaniel turned to Oliver. Placing a hand on the boy's shoulder, he said, "You saved my life, Oliver. I'll never forget that." Nathaniel offered Oliver a new life, promising to mentor him and provide opportunities he had never imagined. Together, they forged a bond stronger than blood, a testament to the power of loyalty and courage in the face of betrayal. In the weeks that followed, Nathaniel began integrating Oliver into his life, teaching him not only the business world, but also the values that underpin true leadership. "You've shown me more courage than most adults I've met," Nathaniel said one evening as they worked late into the night. "You deserve a future as bright as your heart." Oliver absorbed every lesson, eager to rise to Nathaniel's expectations. Despite the trials of his past, he found himself growing in confidence and ability. Together, they began planning a philanthropic venture, one that would reach children like Oliver who had been overlooked by society. "We'll call it the Haven Foundation," Nathaniel said, his voice filled with hope, "a safe place for those who have nowhere else to turn." Meanwhile, Evelyn and Lucas faced the consequences of their actions. Their trial became a public spectacle, with their betrayal and greed laid bare for all to see. Nathaniel attended the hearings, not out of malice, but to remind himself of the lessons he had learned. "Trust is earned, not given," he reflected. As the Haven Foundation launched, Nathaniel and Oliver stood together at the ribbon-cutting ceremony. Oliver, now confident and poised, addressed the crowd. "This isn't just a building. It's a promise that no one is invisible, and everyone deserves a second chance." The applause was thunderous, and Nathaniel couldn't have been prouder. Through their shared journey, Nathaniel and Oliver discovered that redemption and growth often emerge from the darkest moments. Their bond became a beacon of hope, proving that family is not defined by blood but by loyalty and love. Together, they faced the future with unshakable determination, ready to build a legacy that would inspire generations to come.